Hey, what's up guys? Tim here again, back with another tutorial. So we're kind of revisiting the fishtail in this one, but this one's a little more special. And this is the ridged fishtail. Okay, so it's a standard fishtail, but with a bit of extra, with an extra step, we have this really awesome kind of 3D ridge going down the center. You can make it two-tone like I have done here, or you can do it like a single color. But overall, the pattern on this one looks really, really nice. Because, you know, we all love the fishtail, but having this sort of extra ridge to it is really cool. So this pattern is actually a kind of collaborative effort. Actually, it comes from an Instagram user, spelled DEDEN473. And I believe he told me his name was Tristan. He's all the way from Indonesia. And I saw a picture of his design on Instagram and I asked him, hey, that's really cool. You know, how did you do it? And he sent me a few images through DM, and I asked him, hey, is it okay if I do a tutorial? And he said, great. He was more than happy to, you know, share this with everyone. So Tristan, thank you, man, for sharing that with me so I can do this tutorial. So now, before you get started and before we get into the tutorial, a couple word of warnings. When I made this in the, following video, I did encounter a couple of issues. So as you can see, when you look at the thickness of this bracelet, it is like a standard fishtail, but when you add this ridge to it, it adds to the thickness. So you might want to make your bracelet maybe a 1/4 of an inch, a little more than you normally wear it, just so it fits properly, so it's not too tight. And then also, you can see there's some gaps in between the fishtail weave. That's due to the way this section is added. That's going to cause as you're weaving along, it's going to make these fishtail knots or weaves get kind of packed in really tight, so you might have to undo some of them. So you could potentially do this on a pre-existing fishtail, but you might have an issue where you'll be adding this ridge along, and because it's spacing out these knots, it's going to force everything to be compressed down here, and you might have a really hard time getting those last few knots in. So you might have to somehow undo a few of the knots before you can add the ridge in. So just a word of warning there. That's why it's important. I think you guys should watch the whole video through, because I might, give you little tips here and there, and rather than, just skipping ahead. But anyways, that all being said, I hope you guys will enjoy this tutorial. It was a bit tough making it, but yeah, I think the result is worth it. So with that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Alright guys, so I got my paracord set up on my jig as usual. I'm using the 1/2 inch buckles, and I've got my double cow's hitch on each side. So again, if you don't know how to do this setup, I will always link that tutorial in the description down below. I'm using red today. And you don't have to do a 4-strand core. I just like the look of the slightly thicker fishtail. You can do this on a 2-strand core fishtail, or if you already have a pre-existing one. But I just thought I'd go through, the fishtail again just to be complete. Okay, so we've got our 2 working strands on either side. Got roughly 10 feet of paracord. And yeah, let's just do our standard fishtail. So I'm going to start off with the left strand. I'm going to go through the middle and bring everything through like so. And I take the right strand through the middle and out the other side. Okay, so from there we have our first 2. Now we're going to take the left side and just go back through the middle and out to the other side. So that was left, right, left. Okay. All right, so now we can start weaving the fishtail. So remember, it's always the top strand. If you've got the 2 strands on the right side, it's the one on top. You bring it over and under through the middle like that. Right? And then back over and under. So you're always, in this case, we're always bringing our strands back to the right side like that. Okay, and push everything up. You want your fishtails to look really nice. Between every knot, always kind of push up on everything and keep the strings taut. Okay, you'll have a nice looking fishtail. So we'll do that again, over and under, and over and under. All right, nice and simple. I know we've all done the fishtail quite a bit on this channel, but anyways, we're going through it again. Okay, so I'm just going to continue weaving my fishtail all throughout and get back to you when we get to the bottom, right? So just continue the pattern, go down your length of your bracelet, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I've woven down the length of my bracelet. As you can see, I'm down to the end. You're going to start to run out a bit of space here, and it might be a little bit harder to get these last few knots in. That's why you want to attach your fids at this point. And I'm just going to go, see, I've got this gap here. I'm just going to go through here, like so, and then I'm going to go through the middle again, like that. Just pull this through. Got there. I've still got a little bit of a space here. So what we'll do is we'll take our last strand here on the right, and I think we just go through the middle here. And that should be good. Okay, I think that looks okay, right? Looks pretty clean. So now for finishing these off, I think you can just snip and melt them right here because of the tension in here. It should be able to keep the strands nicely in there, especially if you do the usual, you snip them, melt them, and mushroom them out. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clip my cords about right here. I know I have a bit of excess, so I will adjust the measurements in the beginning. I'm just going to clip them right here to make it easier to work with. Just because I want to leave myself some, I think it'll be easier for this last step, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to snip my cords right here, and we'll move on to the last step. Okay, so now for the ridged step of the fishtail, I've got roughly 3.5 feet of the licorice paracord, and I haven't done a full length of this yet, so I will have to adjust. I might have some excess, but we'll see. Okay, so I've got my trimmed cords on this end, like I showed you before. Got it attached to my fid. Now I'm going to go through the same space or opening where these cords are coming out of, and I'm going to come out this end here. Okay, so now you want to pull the majority of this cord through. I'd leave maybe just a couple inches on this side, like that much. Okay, and now we're going to make our way up to this length of our bracelet. Now we're going to go through the top here. So I have a bit of a gap here, so I'm going to go through here, like so. Now this is going to kind of form like a spine for us to kind of stitch or weave this ridge onto. Okay, so it'll look like this. Now we're going to start essentially wrapping this cord all the way down the middle. Okay, so this is how we're going to do this. So let's see. We can start here. So I'm going to look at the back of my bracelet, and I think I'm going to go right here. So see this knot right here? I'm going to go through here and out through the middle, like this. So if you can picture the two, there's a 4-strand cord, right? So I've got 2 strands on this side and 2 strands on this side. I'm going through the middle. Okay, so I'm not intersecting directly through any of those cords. I'm going in between 2 on each side, so right through the middle. So you sort of come out this end, and your cord might get a little tangled, so just work with it. There we go. So that looks like that. Now we're going to go on to right here, this knot here. So you want to move in between the knots. So I'm going to go right here, and again I'm going through the middle. Okay, so I'm avoiding the 2 strands on each side. This will be a little bit tricky because you kind of have to feel around and make sure you don't pierce the actual cords in the middle. Okay, so there we got it. See, I got my 2 strands right there. Now we pull this through. Again, it will get twisted. There we go. Okay, so see, that's the first one. So this will involve a bit of time. So now we did 1. So now see, we started on that knot. Now let's go down to the next one right here. And we're going to come through right here. See? Go through there. Pull everything through. Like that. And then now we were on this one earlier. Now we'll go to this one. And that's basically it. That's the kind of pattern here. Again, work your way through to the back. Avoid piercing the strands in the middle. And push and pull everything through. Yeah, this is basically the idea of creating this ridge down the middle. Okay, so you're going to continue working your way down the bracelet. So it was here, now we'll go to the next one. On one side of the spine there, and come through. So I'm going to continue this kind of stitching to create this ridge. And when we get to the end, I'll show you how to finish it off, okay? Okay, so I'm midway through my bracelet, and everything's coming along nice and okay, so I'm midway down my bracelet. Everything's coming along quite well. Now, one development that I wanted to bring to your attention was that, as you can see, when you do this weave, it does cause the fishtail to be spread out a bit more. And as a result, you can see down here, all my cords are getting packed down like really tightly. And pretty soon, it might be really hard to weave in between these strands. So, it's a good thing I didn't, fully snip and singe these cords yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to undo a couple of the last couple fishtails to make some space. I think even if I just undo like maybe one or two of them, it should be okay. So we're going to do that real quick. It's going to be a little tough, but there we go. So I'm going to pull out one on this side, and then I'm going to pull out one on this side. So if you're doing this on an existing fishtail, you might have this issue, but, try to be creative and come up with a solution. But see, now it's a little less packed, but I think I can maybe even do two more. So I'm going to undo a couple of these fishtail knots, and that should remedy the problem, okay? So just a word of warning, and this does happen to me sometimes because I don't have time to do the entire project twice, like once for testing and once for the video. Sometimes, when I'm doing these tutorials in the video, it's the first time I'm doing it. So that's why these things happen. But anyways, so just a word of warning. You might want to undo or leave a bit of space at the end of your fishtail. Okay, so I'm going to finish that up, and then, we'll be done. All right, so I'm almost done. It's taken a lot of time, and I actually had to go back because I ran out of paracord, so the proper amount needed is more like 5, I'd say, no, maybe 4.5 feet, but that'll be annotated earlier, of course. Now, I'm near the end here, and I actually had to end up undoing almost 3 or 4 more fishtail weaves. So it did add a considerable amount of spacing to the knots, as you can see, but as you can tell, it looks really nice, so that's good. So I'm going to finish off this last couple knots. Where am I here? Am I here? Okay. Yeah, we'll go through here. And we'll do the last one, which is right about here. Okay. There we go. So now, all of our cords are through here, and it should be easy. We're just going to clip everything off and melt it all. We'll push it down with our knurling tool. But you've got about 4 cords coming through here, so you can clean all that up, and then we'll be done. All right, and there we have it. We are finished. Okay, so I've got the ridge in there. Clipped all the paracord. We've got our 4 strands here. I think that looks okay. I've pressed it down with my knurling tool, so it's nice and smooth. It's not going to irritate the skin. And that is it. Man, this one really looks really nice. I mean, any design that I find has this kind of, dimension to it is really nice. And it's really, just adds a whole another level to these kind of paracord bracelets. It's kind of one of the reasons why the Bane's cuff looks really cool. It's because it has that ridge in the middle. So it's kind of similar to that. But this looks very nice, I think. Okay. So that is it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. If there's anything you're not sure of, you're not clear of, please do leave a comment down below. And again, I want to thank Tristan for helping me with this tutorial. He was nice enough to, share everything with me. And do check out his Instagram profile. Alright, so that is it, guys. And again, if you're looking for where to buy paracord and all the materials used in this video, check my affiliate links down below, because every time you guys shop through those links, you are helping me out and supporting this channel. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.